Hello there, I'm Elwyn, this is The Antlered Crown, and today I'm going to be talking about Bune, or Bune, or Bime. Bune is known best as the 26th demon within the Lesser Key of Solomon. Documented as being a duke with the ability to move the dead, grant great wealth, and also give secret knowledge. Other texts claim that Bune can take the form of a three-headed dragon with the head of a man. The occultist Carol Runyon believes Bune's name derives from Buto, which is an alias for the goddess Isis, as a part of a claim that the Lesser Key of Solomon was rooted from Mesopotamian mythology, and perhaps sorcery also. Keeping in mind that I was unaware of this theory, and from what I was about to discover from working with Bune, was about to corroborate with Carol Runyon's claim that I later discovered of the possible origins of it. Many years ago, I was in a bit of a rut, materially, spiritually, and mentally. I knew little of Solomonic magic and Goetic entities. It was mentioned to me that the spirit Bune, or Bune, had helped other people and that I should consider it. I didn't think much of it until a few weeks later when I had a dream that felt so real I can recall it as if it were factual memory. Now, I can count on one hand those kind of dreams that I've had in my life. I could probably count on two hands the amount of dreams I've had in my life. I don't dream much, so when something like that happens, I take a very specific mental note of it and listen to its meaning. This was the dream I'm going to share with you, which I believe is my first interaction with Bune, and definitely not my last. I found myself at the foot of a great sandy-coloured stone step. After that step, the sky was deep orange, as if the sun was about to set. Either side of me ran smooth, huge columns that lined a path towards a great building. At that building there were steps that reached towards two large bronze doors, and either side of those doors, suspended, were these plates of oil that burned to act as lamps. As I ascended that step, the sky turned dark pink very suddenly, and the flicker of the lamps made shadows of the columns appear as if dark figures were moving behind them, waiting for me to pass. As soon as this fear was set within my mind, a voice came from next to me, and it simply said, "Well, shall we?" I turned to see a tall figure. Now I'm 6'1". I may have shrunk 6 now, perhaps. I don't know, 6'1". This figure was almost 7 foot tall. At first glance, I would have said the form was female. Naked, black hair consisting of many thin braids that reached their shoulder. The fact that they were naked didn't really shock me, for you see, every inch of their skin was the colour and sheen of matte gold. They began to walk, and so transfixed by the awe of this being, I walked also. We spoke of life and death, of love and sorrow, and with each step I felt as if I was sharing my experience of these things with them. We spoke of other things also, but these were keys that were given to me and not mine to give, but theirs. Once we reached the foot of the steps that led to the great building, I had realized that all fear was gone the moment the entity appeared. I looked back to where we had started. It didn't seem scary from here. The light of the lamps were behind us now, and not the columns. As I turned, a tall figure bent down and kissed me on my forehead the way a mother would kiss their child. She began to walk up the steps. I tried to follow, but every step drew me no closer to them. They turned to me and they simply said that this part is mine. You have done yours now. Then I awoke. Once I awoke, I knew immediately what to do. I set about to prepare, and that night I drew the seal of Bune. I found a green candle. I anointed the candle with oil of clove and rolled it in gold leaf powder and cinnamon. I then anointed each corner of the seal in the same oil. I went to my kitchen. I grabbed an orange, a little red wine, and a square of chocolate. I cast a circle about myself and then proceeded to call Bune while focusing on the seal and slowly eating the orange, allowing the essence of the orange to permeate my senses, my focus to remain speaking out loudly to call upon Bune while the candle burned brightly and vividly. It only took moments and the room was filled with a presence. It was a presence that pushed everything else out of the room, and I suddenly felt very small, as if someone just dropped a whale in my living room. The amount of focus on me equaled that which I was giving the sigil. I spoke aloud with respect and courtesy. I asked for a specific amount of money that was nothing massive but enough to help within an agreeable and realistic time frame. I also asked for guidance in my craft and to see that which I needed to. I was met with nothing but silence, however. I was being just watched. No, I was being observed. Similar to the way that a large cat, perhaps on the savannah, observes from afar. Just watching, not making plans, just seeing the patterns, the movement of nature. I stated that if these things could be granted to me within that time frame, I would offer more of what I give now. Oranges, chocolates and wine, including public acknowledgement and some praise, and this also may consist of it. I bid the spirit goodbye and ask them to go in peace and as friend when they are ready. The presents remained for a short time after, but soon the house was more open and back to the usual silence of night. Well, in a very short time, Bune had granted me what I asked and more. And true to my word, I repeated the ritual, and the presents arrived again. Now, this is the most bizarre part for me. The offering that I ate was food, yes, in their presence. I asked them to share in the experience of my taste and my smells of what I ate, to share the offer up to them. And as I ate that food, I tasted nothing. The wine may have been water. The orange was bland and dull, and the chocolate was mute and oily. Afterwards, just to double check, I closed down the ritual afterwards and I'd given what I had said I would. I went to my fridge and I grabbed another piece of that same chocolate. I put it in my mouth and bam! Instant sweet, sticky, velvet chocolate. It is as if all my tastes had been just rediverted to another. It's incredible. Bune is a very approachable spirit, one that delivers also. The archaic manner of summoning such spirits in Solomonic magic paints them in an aggressive and intimidating light, and although some are not to be trifled with. How would you feel if you were sitting in your PJs watching Game of Thrones in the evening when suddenly you're contained to a circle in a basement and demanded things from a 13th century beardy nerd and his cronies? You'd be livid. The outrage, the audacity. When it comes to all spirits, we should show respect, but not grovel. Bune shows themselves to me as female, but in truth Bune is both and neither. What I know of Bune, they like rich chocolate, oranges, heavy red wine, blue lotus, cinnamon, and cannabis. Their colours of attraction seem to be gold and green, but does not differentiate from others, red and perhaps even silver. Their day seems to be Friday, in the way of contacting them works best. If you really want to get on Bune's good side, an orange chocolate cake and a big fat slice of it wouldn't go amiss. I speak from what I know of it. Always do research before doing anything like this. But remember, showing respect and taking extra precautions should always come as a priority. I wish you the best of luck, and I highly recommend Bune for any forms of work, as long as you are not too greedy with what you ask. You will be usually given more than you ask. For other information on such things, please consider joining my Patreon. I have a website where I do readings and other such things, and a shop. And you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Have a blessed day. Goodbye.